Remember Casey from Euphoria? Everyone was saying how desperate she was and how desperate her energy was. She was the innocent, cute Caucasian girl who wanted Nate's attention. And Maddie was the girlfriend, right? The it girl, the exotic one. She was effortlessly cool and had her own style, a real 10 out of 10 baddie.
Who possessed her dark feminine energy.
And it was such a hype at one stage. Maddie had everybody wanting to either be her or be friends with her. But wait, hold up. Are we forgetting that Maddie lied to Nate and said she was a virgin because she wanted to appear more innocent and cute in front of Nate and to seem less mature and experienced to win his affection, while Casey, on the other hand, wanted to become more sensual, cool, and empowered. Okay, but what's the point of all of this? You may ask. The point is, it didn't matter if these two girls were sweet and innocent or mysterious or cool. The problem was Nate. And Nate was never truly going to love either of them back, no matter how hard they tried. Because Nate only loves himself.
Narcissist.
And the point is also, in the pursuit of Nate and Nate's affection and love, both the girls were trying to be someone and something that they were not, for a guy that was clearly not worth the efforts. The two girls lost their friendship, their bond, their authenticity, and in the end, parts of themselves. Yes, it's quite sad. It's quite sad. I've actually been there before. So, now that I've told you all of this, some may ask,
So what are you trying to say? Are men the problem?
well, no. Not all men anyway. But I have to admit, some men are a pain in the ass. It also takes two to tango, right? In every single dynamic, relationship, friendship. And if you watch my videos, you will know that I am not biased when it comes to men and women. I will always support people's rights. But I will never support people's wrongs. So now that I've set the tone of today's topic, let's get started. Society's obsession with dark feminine energy and manipulation, and why I think it's wrong. Oh gosh.
Excuse me.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Before we discuss, we need to understand why. So let's get to the origin of dark feminine. What is it? Where did it come from? And why so many women are obsessed with it and practicing it? The concept of dark feminine energy has origins in psychology, mythology, and spirituality in various cultures and their timelines. And it's often linked to the archetypes that embody the shadow aspect of femininity, qualities society has traditionally repressed or associated with being taboo. And here are some breakdowns on how these influences have shaped the idea. Psychology and shadow work. Jungian psychology, the shadow represents the repressed, unconscious parts of ourselves that we don't usually show or even accept. For women, dark feminine energy embodies qualities like assertiveness, sensuality, ambition, and rage, traits that society has traditionally discouraged in women. Engaging with this energy in shadow work allows women to integrate and own these darker parts of themselves, achieving a fuller sense of self. Mythological archetypes. Lilith, for example, is a figure from Jewish mythology who defied Adam and was cast out of Eden for her independence. Kali, the Hindu goddess, is associated with destruction and creation, showing the paradox of fierce and nurturing power. These archetypes represent the raw, powerful, and sometimes destructive aspects of femininity, honoring them as necessary to the cycle of life and self-empowerment. Modern spirituality and feminine empowerment. Recently, dark feminine energy, dark psychology, dark manipulation, these things have become popular as women seek ways to reclaim traits historically repressed, such as sexual freedom, assertiveness, and independence. In modern discussions, embracing dark feminine energy is about empowerment and liberation for restrictive gender roles. It encourages women to be unapologetically complex human beings. Basically, to conclude everything I said, dark feminine energy is about reclaiming the balance between light and shadow in femininity. So look at it like yin and yang, right? It's not that we are yin and we need to find a yang, or we are yang and we need to find a yin. Yin and yang is supposed to be balanced as a whole in everybody in order to live a more peaceful, balanced, and fulfilled life, to experience ourselves as a whole. Dark femininity is associated with asserting power, independence, and authenticity. Remember that word, authenticity, because we will come back to that later. Anyway, let's watch a few TikToks and I'll let you be the judge.
Pick me girls never win because men see through that shit. Dark feminine women will always win because men don't like a doormat, okay? You're either a dream girl or you're a doormat. Do you want to be a doormat? Men always push their luck in a relationship with women. They do. They will see how far they can push you and see if you still come running back. And these pick me girls, they come running back.
Okay, I have to pause it there. She says men love toxic women, right? And she's saying that men either treat you like a princess or treat you like a doormat. Men will see how far they could push you. To some degree, I agree with this in the sense that she says men love toxic women, right? In the sense that these men are also toxic. It takes two to tango. I'm sorry to say this, but men love toxic women. No, I think that toxic people like, well, I don't think they like it, but toxic people do get involved with toxic people. And if men are treating women wrongly, shame on them, right? It's not all men. So this does not make sense. Men love toxic women. It feels like she's speaking on behalf of all men, and she's also speaking for behalf of most women. This is just not true. I don't agree with this, that you have to be a toxic woman in order for men to give you respect. That makes zero sense.
They need a woman with respect and boundaries who says, this is not okay, you're not going to do this or you won't see me again. And it's not a threat or ultimatum, you just leave it. So many girls message me saying they blindly agree to whatever the boyfriend says, they let him do whatever he wants, but he still dumps them, he still cheats. Why do you think? Because you are not setting boundaries and you have no respect for yourself. Get some self-respect. A man can smell a woman with no respect from a mile away, and again, you will be pushed and pushed until you can't take any more.
If a man is going to cheat, a man is going to cheat. It doesn't matter whether or not you're a good woman or a bad woman, a toxic woman or a non-toxic woman. It's probably just a matter of time of when they're going to cheat on you. If this man is a cheater. It doesn't matter how you behave. And having boundaries and being assertive is not toxic. So I don't get the point of that, right? I was very lost with that one. That one lost me. Anyway.
It's not toxic masculinity that's destroying society, it's toxic femininity.
I actually watched a lot of this girl, Vakita Fravidi. She actually has great videos on, I don't agree with some of the manipulation tactics, but she does have great videos. Oh fuck, is the speakers even on? Oh, thank God, it was. Ow. I don't agree with the manipulation tactics, but I do agree with some of the dark feminine energy, I guess, if you want to call it that. She actually makes sense when she says this type of stuff. And her approach to these type of topics, I think that she makes more sense than the other girl. Let's give this TikTok a watch.
Women are to blame for shitty men and their shitty dating lives. And it's because of the rise of the toxic feminine. Women are inherent life breathers. We possess the superpower, which is the ability to bring life into this world. That means we are responsible for breathing life into everything we touch or destroying it. The toxic feminine destroys because her main motivation is to gain revenge on men. If you have a shitty man or a shitty dating life, it's because you are creating it. You're breathing life into shitty men. You're enabling shitty behavior. You're building an ecosystem of destruction.
I 100% agree with this one. The sperm swims to the egg, not the other way around. The moment you are in a relationship and you can feel there's something off about the other person and they are starting to show some red flags and pretty bad, irreversible, unchangeable type of toxic behavior, there is no point in trying to change them or battle your way into it or argue your way into them changing. There is absolute zero chance of that happening. And if it does, it's probably a miracle and you're lucky, but most cases it's not. And just by allowing it happening, just by settling or even arguing with that person and trying to change them is enabling that type of toxic behavior. Your only best bet is grab your luggage and GTO out of there. It's enabling. It's enabling. If you stay, it's enabling. A lot of people agree in that video. She doesn't have one hate comment. It's great. I 100% agree.
I'm a pretty girl, and pretty girls are never lonely.
This is what I mean by dark feminine energy. This is when people are mistaking empowering femininity, right, with toxic femininity. There's two completely different sides of it. Trust me, guys, do not waste your time trying to learn these tactics on how to manipulate, play games, and get back at men. Karma will take care of everything, all right? You don't have to keep receipts because God will. Once you have reached a level of healing and a level of true confidence without manipulation, you've come to a point in your life where you've done enough healing and have enough self-actualization. The right friends and the right men will come. They really, really will. And that's a beautiful day. Instead of going down all these dark paths, you know, getting into more hurt, playing with more fire and getting burnt more. Good days will come. Trust me, they really will. You have a wonderful life to look forward to. You guys are stronger than this. We are stronger than this. Don't let fear win. Don't let hate win. Don't let your past traumas win. Conquer them. Rise on top. Come out stronger. Come out a better person. The rest is history.
The more you make him suffer, the more he's gonna fall in love with you. Think of this. Why is it the mean high school bully that was always so evil and vicious to you that you desperately were craving their attention and their approval?
That is crazy. I have to say something, okay? The more you make him suffer, the more he's going to fall in love with you. Okay, if men did this to women, which some of them actually have for a very long time, I don't doubt that. Women are going to become hateful, and some women are hateful because of it. And now we're doing this back to them? No. If I was to say I never suffered, that'd be a lie. Of course I've suffered. Of course I've been suppressed by men. But will I use the same thing on them to create a bigger cycle?
No.
I do not ever agree with vengeance or revenge, right? So the first thing she says, the more you make him suffer, the more he's going to fall in love with you. If someone's love for you comes out of manipulation and comes from the fact that you've made them suffer, do you really feel good about that? That sounds like a sadist. That sounds really wrong. If you do want love that comes out of that for your own satisfaction, I hope you heal, actually. I hope you're not looking at dating advice or manipulation tactics. I think there's something deeper in that. There's some more rooted trauma and issues that's inside of people that enjoy these type of things. And I'm sorry that that's happened to people. There's definitely history and pain with that. But it doesn't mean it's right and it's going to make you happy in the long run. Absolutely not. The mean high school bullies that are always so evil and vicious to you, that you desperately were craving their attention and their approval. Yes, maybe back then, and to crave their approval and attention is something that kids do. Children do that, but as adults, we don't listen to the same thing that we once did subconsciously without self-awareness as children before our frontal cortex have developed. What is this woman talking about?
One day hoping to be liked and accepted by them. It comes back down to our human core need of acceptance and love.
Yes, hoping to be accepted by them when you're 10 years old. No one gives a crap about bullies now. People know to stay away from those types of people. But it feels like she's saying we need to become them. We need to have their type of energy. Holy crap, this is so wrong on so many levels.
So then if someone is mean to us and chooses to reject us, it triggers our core need of acceptance even more.
Yeah, humans do want acceptance and love. But like I said, if we want love and acceptance from toxic people, that says more about us and our traumas than them. And wanting to be more like them and having their energy is so wrong. I've never reacted to someone's video where every like sentence they say, I have something to say back because this is whack.
Because our mind cannot comprehend or wrap itself around the fact that we have been rejected for simply existing. Our ego will kick in and do anything in its power to finally be accepted. So the more you reject somebody, the more you're unbothered by their presence and pretend like they don't even exist, the more they want to be recognized by you. The more you make him suffer, the more you pretend like he doesn't even exist, the more his ego will compete with itself to do anything in its power to win you over. He will do anything to prove to you that he is worthy of your love, of your time, of your recognition. How do you reject him and make him suffer? By not always jumping when he says jump.
If you want somebody to literally beg and suffer and prove themselves constantly to be worthy of your love, first of all, that person probably lacks self-awareness and self-esteem. Feel bad for that person. Sorry. And second of all, shame on the person that's doing this. It's very sadist to make someone else suffer in order to crawl back and prove themselves to you. That's sickening. I really feel like this girl has gone through some crazy trauma and bullying when she was younger, but that doesn't mean she has to teach this type of BS to other people, because this is going to make society even worse. It really will. Two wrongs don't make a right. This is really sad and sickening. I genuinely feel like that's what Kim Jong-un does to his people. Treat them like they don't exist, made them compete for your attention and the power to win you over. Like, it's crazy. I consider myself somewhat mentally stable and have my head screwed on, right? Honestly, if I was to meet her, right, or I met someone like her or a guy that was pursuing me that's using these tactics, as soon as I can pick it up, that person's out of my life. I don't have game for that. I don't have time for that.
And I don't have time for that kind of game, right?
There is no way I'd let that happen. My point is that these tactics only work on people who are not self-aware about these, who are inexperienced. That white woman we just watched was the spitting image of toxic femininity. That was just straight up manipulation. Please stay away from those types of things. By participating in it and by fighting back with the same level of strategy and tactics, you're participating and breeding that type of behavior. Step away, take back your credibility, take back your power, and don't play around with children. Don't play around with people who are toxic and lack self-awareness, because it will drag you down so much. Trust me on that one. It's very dangerous. And you don't have time for that.
You just don't have time for that.
When dark feminine energy turns into manipulation, and when this goes a little bit too far, I want to touch on the side effects, the negative side effects. Okay? While this dark feminine energy can be empowering, helping individuals embrace qualities like assertiveness, sensuality, and independence, it also has some potential downsides when it's not balanced or managed thoughtfully. Manipulation and control, we touched on this. And remember in the beginning when I told everyone to remember the word authenticity? Dark feminine energy, or any sort of association with helping women become empowered, is to help us reach our authenticity. It's to empower us in the right direction, not only to protect us, but kind of unite us as a whole. When you know how to protect yourself correctly, you also know how to protect others correctly. Authenticity is so important in these types of practices. And manipulation and control makes all of us lose our authenticity, and we are all using the same tactics to achieve the same goals. Dark feminine energy, if used wrong, can lead to manipulation behaviors or a desire to control others to achieve one's own goals, potentially harm relationships and one's own mental health. Yes. Isolation and emotional distress. Embracing this energy too strongly can create an emotional wall or distance, as one may rely on self-protection over vulnerability. This can lead to challenges in forming deep, genuine connections with others. I believe everyone that's kind of touching on dark femininity is kind of in the healing era, right? And as we should heal. But, you know, dabbling in it and researching it and understanding it and experiencing it is very, very different to getting obsessed with it and using this as a strategy in life. The whole point of this is to balance our yin and the yang. We need to create a balance because everything that's out of balance is very, very bad for you. It could be detrimental to your health, really. It can make you obsessed, make you even more emotional and out of control, and make you very evil. You go down a really wrong path. And this leads to the last one. It really encourages self-destructive behaviors if gone too far. If all this energy turns inward too much, it can contribute to self-sabotaging behaviors, feelings of unworthiness, or even bitterness, especially one is fixated on past wounds too much without moving towards healing. If we are too inward about our trauma and too bitter, of course, while using manipulation tactics, it's going to make that worse because revenge will make us more bitter. We're constantly participating not only in our past traumas, but also playing it out even more. We're just playing different characters within these traumatic events. We used to be the victim and now we want to be the abuser. It's a different position in the cycle, but we're still within that cycle if we practice these manipulation tactics too much. I don't think it'll bring much satisfaction. It'll probably give you a tiny little bit of satisfaction, but in the end, it'll bite you back. In the pursuit of power, please remember to never lose your soul. But basically, this is it. This is the video that I wanted to make about today. I don't hate dark feminine energy, of course not, but I do think that we need to be very careful with how we practice it and balance it well with light and dark, the yin and the yang, instead of diving too deep into one or the other. I hope you've all learned something. Thank you so much for watching and always speak the truth. Bye. Oh, and one more thing. To the haters in my last video, who I actually reported because you spam me too much and you really annoyed me. Facts don't care about your feelings, but God does. And it's never too late to turn to Him because God cares about you and God cares about your feelings. Peace out.